Hello, thank you everyone for joining this training session. I'm Dinar, based in Indonesia. I'm I work with Happy Hub as data quality, and also I will accompany by Jeffrey. Over to Jeffrey.
Yeah, hi everyone. Let me just share my video for the intro. So yeah, I'm Geoffrey Katerega, and I am based in Kampala in Uganda, and yeah, I work as the community projects lead at Hot. So really happy to be here interacting with all of you. And yeah, I'll be covering the UMAP section later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And yeah, today, okay, the people is still join. Okay, I will wait for 1 second. Okay, thank you everyone for joining the session. Thank you again. And we will have OverPass Turbo and Umap Basic for today. And I think the training will be different because we will use Google Classroom, not only share a presentation, and then we have interactive session, hopefully. So yeah, maybe most of you already invited and joined the Google Classroom. And let me share the screen. Okay, if you still have a problem to access this Google Classroom, please let us know. And yeah, I will show you the Google Classroom so we can work together later. And yeah, what you can expect from this thing is still this is our first time to try to giving up training in Google Classroom. So feel free to give us a feedback later, and I will go through this as student view. So basically, this is a student view, and then this one is a teacher view. So we have several terms in Google Classroom. First is stream. So you can ask anything and announce something to us. Who are we? Okay, we have a teacher as trainer, and then we have a classmate here as you. So this is a student view. You will have a same view as mine, and stream for giving a chat or discussion to us. And then we have a classwork which contain all training material and also quiz or assignment. So we have not only training materials, but also we have a assignment. So for example, for this one, we have a first assignment. All you need is just to read the question and answer. And then once you answer, for example, I will yes and click turn in. So the sign, if I still not submit my assignment, is I have this word, I have this sign missing in red color. So it means that I need to submit my assignment. And then we have several assignment. For this is only yes or no, but also we have a quiz. You can access later, and you can also expect that this training material will available uh, until after training session. So don't worry if you still need to read again or need to take a look from the previous material, you can still access it. And then that is the second type of assignment. And then the third assignment is like this one. Click view assignment. And then this is the question. This is the question. And you should submit your answer using this one. For example, assignment 1. Zoom in and then find the dentist, and then once you open OverPass Turbo, you're ready to submit. This one, you generate a permalink URL, so you should submit link from the OverPass Turbo. So don't worry if you still need or need understand more, because it's all available in this training material. So, but if you have any question or something unclear or need more clarification, just put the comment here. Type. Once you post any question, all of teacher will be notified in email, so you don't need to mention anyone. Rather than you message in private, I encourage you to post your question here, because maybe uh, some classmate also has a better response and better solution on that. Because this is OverPass Turbo, very customized for query, and also as long you get the data that you want, it will be good. So we only have 3 types of assignment. This one, first, and then if you not haven't clicked it yet, please click turn in, because we are, as teacher, can check. This is the teacher view. 21 turn in and 8 still assignment. So if your name is still on this list, please support Shabani, Daniel, Frank, Anil need to turn in for the first assignment. Okay, back to assignment. So I will not go through training material one by one, because it will take longer, and I think you will be overwhelmed, because it's covered from very basic introduction, history of OverPass Turbo, and until you create dynamic web maps with OSM data. So yeah, I just want to give you an overview how to have interaction in Google Classroom, and how to uh, you can expect from this training. And yeah, you may also have a question. Please feel free to drop in the chat. Maybe you already submit or have a question from the previous or training material. Please ask us. Feel free to unmute or drop a message on the chat. And yeah, if you if you have any problem to access this Google Classroom, please let us know. And for every assignment, they have a deadline. For example, we have a December 4 and then until I think December 15, 16, the last. So we still have 16 days from now. And I will go through, yeah, while waiting for discussion from you, I'll pass turbo. If you see, I have some instance or some version, not only overpass turbo.eu. This one, you can see the difference. This one and this one that I already announced to you a few hours ago. And for example, I will check the queries. We have GUI and let's see the assignment. Assignment, zoom in settlement on Overpass Turbo and find the dentist office in Ampun Street. Okay. This is the wizard and dentist. How I know to interpret or translate dentist from our language, human language, into Overpass Turbo language? Yeah, all already explained in the training material. Basically, we should check to wiki OpenStreetMap for the proper tag to describe our query. And this one, how do we find the dentist in our preferred location? And basically, you can change the location by this one manually selected box. For example, this is for the first assignment. And then you can click run again. Use the query wizard. Okay, we already used the query wizard. And how to submit the assignment. I have a question. What can I put in Salvador? Okay, I will prioritize any discussion because it's mean you already come prepare or have urgent. Okay, I have a question. Hometown in Salvador. In Salvador, the result appear. How can I correct this? Okay, let me try. Salvador. I usually put this. Jacqueline, do you mind to unmute yourself and show me which one you mean? Which area I mean? This one is correct or not? The correct Salvador or not? Hello, Jacqueline?
Sorry, yes, it's my city.
Okay, so this is the correct one?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, first time I will, what I usually did is I go to osm.org and then try to find the city. For example, on this one, Salvador, Brazil. And when I click, yeah, this is the correct because it has a boundary relationship boundary like this one, and yeah, maybe Jeffrey can add later. I usually add this one, copy paste, and then this. So have then this. Let's try. Let's try. Yeah, it's show.
Yes,
Just
correct
correct one.
now. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So you need to copy paste the whole this. Or Jeffrey, do you have a additional answer on this?
Yes.
Yeah, I think as long as the area has like a bound already mapped in OpenStreetMap data, that's where it also picks like the boundary to know like the location where it is squaring from. Yeah, so as long as you search and you know that the place is already in OSM, OverPass will also find it.
We'll pass on the chat. Okay, we have a second. Thank you, Jeffrey, for the right. And we have question from Shabani. What is common use in OverPass Turbo? Oh, okay. But the language maybe, you mean language, Shabani? You can access on the first, I think, first or second material. Yeah, we have this. So this is the explanation of, on your question. You can access on the classwork and on the section 2 of OverPass API. Okay,
and maybe to add on there as well.
Okay.
So the language OverPass uses is called OverPass QL, which is simply OverPass query language. Yes, and there is documentation, like Dina has mentioned, there's documentation on the wiki that you can use to know how to build those queries if you want to go into details of how to build those queries. Yeah, the links are in the slides, but I also drop a link in the chat there that you can refer to.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And we don't have any more information. Okay. We'll go to the next example. School, yeah, this is the same. We just need to change the word from dentist into school and then share the link. Don't forget to click share to submit the assignment. Yeah, I will talk more about this one because I think it's different. Find the building with generic names in your hometown. Okay, we have some clue on this assignment. First, we need to put buildings, and the second, we need to find in the specific location, and the third is generic names. What is generic names? Generic names is called, we can call it a descriptive name. For example, building, we have a building, yes, and name house. Yeah, this is generic names. So it's incorrect for in OSM because we don't need to map any generic names. It's already covered in wiki. for your further information, generic names, and also you might get help from tech info. What is tech info? Tech info is this. It took long to load. Let's wait. Okay, while waiting, feel free to drop any question. I don't know why it takes so long. Okay, this is tech info. Name houses, or name building, or name hospital. This is also generic name. So the names are not for description. You can check from this one. And also generic names may be in local language. Name equal what, but in your local language, not show the real name of the object. This one we have so many tag or name with house only. So yeah, for example, for this assignment, you can try name house in Salvador. But let's keep in mind that when we put this key and value, it means that we already know what exactly exists on their work or what we want to find. For example, I'm sure that there is a name and house in Salvador, so I put this query. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is no. Yeah, there is no tag on that. Yeah, if the result is blank, yeah, it's okay. You can try for another. No result is mean good, but if you want to explore more, maybe you can add like this one. The sign is mean that I want to find anything that contain name with OC. So it may be written house of ABC, maybe written house of anything else, all that contain OC. So we can use this. Yeah, actually you can play with this OverPass Turbo. Yeah, as I said earlier, this is very customized, or you can make it based on your needs. Okay, I will leave it. I think we don't have any chat on this. Let's go through. So yeah, what happened if you have this query error? So don't worry if you get this error. You don't be panic and take it easy. Just read the error. Runtime error. Time out after 70 seconds. Just click dismiss and go to this one. timeout, you can add more time. Maybe, yeah. You can put any number on this, and then click run again. So, any question? I will stop share for a while. Okay, thank you. Recording is in progress again. So, OverPass Turbo, the quality series, we will have a question like this one: find highways without names in your hometown. And likely, before you go to translate into Overpass Turbo, I will encourage you to describe the logical behind this. Anyone want to be volunteer to explain how to you will write in Overpass in Wizard at least? Anyone? What should we add or how to find before we talk about the correct query? Anyone? Okay, let me check the material. I think it's already explained. Then, yeah, okay. I see the explanation on this. So, yeah, I hope you can find the answer. But if not, please feel free to drop a comment. We will respond to any as soon as possible. Find highways. It's already explained in this training material. And then for the next query, schools in Bangalore. We should find only nodes. Okay. School in Bangalore. Yes. If we back to this one, you can see that basically Overpass Turbo will return like this one. Node, way, and relation. So if any object that matches our query, it will show what objects. The object can be nodes, way, or relation. So imagine that we already agree with this query, or we can use this query, and then basically this is a two question. For example, this one, schools in Bangalore, and then also find only the nodes. So imagine that we already find school in Bangalore, but we only need the nodes. We can just delete and run. After run, share the link to this query and then submit to your assignment. Yeah, number 6, same. It's only with the way. And yeah, for the next assignment, find your edits in your hometown. So the logical thing is you must know your hometown, describe your hometown in OverPass Turbo, and the second, you must describe yourself in OverPass Turbo. I'm sure that that's already, yeah, this one. You can go through the material and then try to find the answer. And if you're still uh, unclear about something, just drop a comment. It will need only 2K. 2K edits in hometown. And also this is the same with previous assignment. Find your edits within this. I think we still have time before offer to Geoffrey for you map. Find your edits in your hometown. Your edit means you in OSM means your account, your OSM account. How to describe you in OSM user? And I have some. Yeah, for example, this one. And okay. And build and query, and it's good. But in Nigeria, you should change to your hometown because it's country. This is a country scale. It will need more time and also maybe uh, has possibility to fail because it's too big. And you can click. Yeah, usually I will refer abort this query. So that's how to file for the assignment 7, and then for the assignment 8, you can still find your edits within the past week. So you have 2K. Your edit, it means your username, your OSM account, and for example, this is my username, and your can 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, can put it, and you don't need to remember your or user because it's already, you can take a look anytime in the training material or also in the wiki OpenStreetMap page. We already put the link there, so don't worry, you don't need to remember all of this. But if I click this one, it will maybe fail because I zoom out to the entire world. So what I can suggest for this one is please specify the country or the region or the location you are working in, but you are not sure yet. Just drop the message with your query or your problem. And then for the assignment, next assignment, I'm sure that we already provide the example on this training material. So this is for distance, yeah. You can go through method. And I think that's all for this one. So basically, I just introduce you to Google Classroom for few, and then for how to submit the assignment, and some giving you some example queries, and also I'm waiting if you have discussion or question like Chiklin mentioned before or Shabani mentioned before. Just feel free to unmute or drop the question in the chat. I think I am good to offer to you, Jeffrey.
All right. Thank you, Dina. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And like I mentioned, I'm going to be taking us through UMAP. Yeah, so let me just share my screen and proceed. So, yeah, like Dina mentioned at the beginning, this is a little bit different because we're in Google Classroom, and really the idea is for you also to be able to go in and interact with the materials and learn at your own pace, complete those few assignments, and yeah. So the lessons I'm going to be taking us through are the ones which are at the end here. So building maps with UMAP, and also building dynamic web maps with OSM data. And yeah, so what I have here is some slides that I'm going to be going through. So feel free to go in and find these slides later on, and yeah, go through them on your own. All the demonstrations that I'm going through, you can also find them within those slides, and the slides have like GIFs within them, which can help you to easily follow along as you do this content, but I'm going to be able to walk you through. But in case you want to repeat on your own, you can find the steps within the slide. So that's the first one. The other one will be dynamic maps with OSM data. And yeah, it is the same thing as well here. We do have, we do have some GIFs in there, which you can easily follow along as you do this. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and go through the first one. So yeah, Dina has showed us how to create queries, and also we shared some links in the chat if you are interested in learning more about building queries. Like there is the query wizard, yes, but you can also build your own queries if you are comfortable with writing a little bit of code, which there is documentation that you can learn from. Okay, so really the idea of UMAP is to help you to quickly create interactive web maps that you can easily share with people, that you can embed in your website, that you can also base on OSM data. So I'm just going to go ahead and write some simple query, and then we go ahead and use it. So let me see. Can you drop in the chat which city and country you are based in? So city, country in the chat. I'm going to pick one and use it to base my query. So yeah, if you don't mind, just drop in the chat. Yeah, we have people from Dodoma, Tanzania. We have Kathmandu. Yeah, I want to learn more about everyone go ahead and share where you are based and you're tuning in from. Yeah, we have also Vivek from Nepal, but in another place, Kotoa. Yeah, Maya, Ralph, where are you based? Let's also get to know where Ralph is based. Maybe we can make the query based on Ralph's city. We'll see. Okay. Ralph is based in Portsmouth, UK. All right. So I'm just going to make a simple query, and I'm going to use the query wizard. Okay, we have Maya is based in Mexico. I think they pronounce it as Mexico. All right, so yeah, I'm going to query for yeah, amenity equals hospital. So I would like to find all the hospitals in Kathmandu. Okay, and we know Kathmandu is based in Nepal. So I'm going to go ahead and build this query and run it. Okay. So as you can see, I've run the query, but there is nothing here in my my map view. Why? Because I'm zoomed into Uganda, and the query is likely in the query is out in Nepal. So as you can see here, I do have my query now. So yeah, let us say someone asked you, like, yeah, can you show me all the hospitals in Kathmandu from OpenStreetMap? So you can easily run this query, and you may either share with them this link so they can see the same query, but you can also create an interactive map that they can interact with. And how you do that is go to export here, and you can easily click on interactive map here, and basically you can just copy this link and then send it to them, and they have this interactive map. So this interactive map loads without the query window. It's just like a map view, and if someone clicks on the different points, then they can be able to see the different attributes. So for example, this hospital is called Himalaya Healing Center. There's this one called Sechan Clinic and Hospice. So I've done my query, and one way to really create the interactive map, like I've mentioned, would be to just export it as an interactive map. But the other thing I can do, I can also export this data, and I can import it in Umap and create like a web map that, you know, I can also easily share with other people. So how would I do that? So to be able to do that, I can go to export here. And yeah, you can export to any of these formats. So GeoJSON, GPX, KML. But I'm going to go ahead and use GeoJSON. And I'll store it on a location of my choice here. So I'll give my exporter name. This is hospitals, Kathmandu. Yeah, so please, yeah, if you have any questions, you can always drop them in the chat. And like I mentioned, there will be an assignment. So you also do the same kind of map and also share it with me via here to be able to share what you have worked on. So yeah, I've downloaded my data from the export button here. I downloaded it as GeoJSON, and I have it on my computer now. So what I'm going to do next is to go to Umap. So the URL for Umap is umap.openstreetmap.fr. And that's where we are going to build our map here. So I'm already logged in. You can see my OpenStreetMap username here, which shows my maps. Katerega 1 is my username. but just to show you, if you're not logged in yet, you can just simply sign in here. And the good thing is that you can either log in with your GitHub account, your Bitbucket, your Twitter, but you can also log in with your OpenStreetMap account. So if you already have an account on OpenStreetMap, you don't have to create a new account on Umap. So you just have to log in, give access, the Umap, you grant access to your awesome account, and yeah, you'd be in. So the next step would be, yeah, you can, if you want, you can maps that have been created by other people, which can be really inspiring for you to just have a look and see what other people are creating with this tool. So yeah, lots of maps there that you can look at. But I'm just going to go ahead and create my own. So I'll go to create a map. So the first thing I will do is to give my map a title. So right now it is showing me untitled map. And if I click on this pencil icon here, I can be able to give it a name. So I'll name it, yeah, hospitals in Kathmandu. And yeah, I can also use this same name for the description. Yeah, but right, so I've finished adding the name. But right now, if you can see here, the map is zoomed in somewhere to around Europe. So I want to make sure, yeah, it is kind of zoomed in to Nepal. So I'm zooming into Nepal here. Look at Kathmandu actually, because that's where my data is best. And there are a few things I can do here. One, I can save this center and zoom. So if I save this center and zoom, that means if I share my map with a link, if someone loads that link, it will just zoom into here. So to do that, I use this button here, which is save this center and zoom. And the other do is also, if I come here to user interface options, I will leave most of these things as they are, but one that I'm interested in is this one, which is, do you want to display a minimap? And I'll turn it on. What it really does is to give you this minimap. So the minimap, yeah, it just shows somewhere like the overview map of where they are. So just like a minimap that gives someone a kind of like a wider kind of view to know like which part of the world are they zoomed in. So so those are the two things I've done. Three things I've done first. I've renamed my title. I've switched on yes, I've switched on the minimap, as you can see here. And to do that, I've gone to interface options, but I've also locked my map to this view. So I'm going to go ahead and save my map. The next thing I'm going to do now is to import my data that I exported from, yeah, I exported from OverPass. So to do that, I'll come here where there is import data. You can also use the shortcut Ctrl+I if you like shortcuts. And I'll go ahead and choose my file. So my file is hospitals Kathmandu. I'll go ahead and click, select choose it. And of course, the format here is GeoJSON. So make sure that the format here matches with the format that you used to export your data. So if you exported your data as KML, then you should select a KML here. If you exported it as OSM data, the same. So if your data is in CSV, select that. So make sure the format here matches with the format you have chosen here. And is to import it as a new layer. So you can have several layers. For example, you can have a layer for hospitals, a layer for clinics, a layer for dentists. So you can have different layers in your map, and you can import each as a new layer. So I'm going to select a new layer here, and I'm going to click on import. And once I do that, you'll see that my data has been loaded. I have my points here on the map, which is good. And now I can go ahead and do some styling. I can change the colors of the points. I can do some labeling so that the labels show. But I'll first go ahead and save, then I can go ahead and make some changes. So after saving, if I disable edit here, I can see that if I click on each point, at least I can see the name of the hospital. And there's something interesting here. Yeah, there's a point here which has been named Hospitals Kathmandu. I don't know why, but I'll have a look at that. So maybe these are points that don't have names on them, and maybe we can look into the OSM data. So this is TU Teaching Hospital. So there is a node as well as the polygon, which is also named. But anyway, let's proceed and do some styling. So to do some styling, again, I'll go ahead here and click on edit. So one of the things I can do, I may not be happy with this base map here. And if I want to change the base map, I have the option of doing that. So there are some base maps here. As you can see, the list is long. So yeah, you can just feel free to, yes, Tina, is that a question?
Oh yeah, no, just my internet is stable, so I lost you. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, so like I was mentioning, there you can change the base map here. So for example, if I want to use there's this one here, I can do that. And I see there is a question in the chat. Like, is it possible to customize area imagery in Umap? Let us say I have drawn imagery and I know I need to display with the Umap. So that's a good question, Shaban. So if you look here in the change layers, there's nothing like custom imagery. So I'm not really sure whether you can import your own base layer. What I'm sure of is that you can choose from any of these existing ones. But yeah, I'm not sure whether it is possible to import your own imagery layer. I've never tried something like that. Yeah, but if anyone knows, feel free to share in the chat. Yeah, so that's how we change the background. So I'll go ahead and save that change as well. So the other thing I want to do is to be able to do some styling. So to do that, I will go to this button here, which is edit map settings. So one of the things, if I want to change like the color and the icons, I can do that in default shape properties. So once you click on that, you have another you have another menu here. So I can first of all change the color of my symbols. I know hospitals are normally pink, so I can come here and choose the pink color to represent my hospitals. I also want to change the icon shape. So, sorry, the icon symbol. So from the symbol list here, I can choose a symbol for hospitals. So, which is normally a plus sign, but here there is a long list of symbols here. So feel free to always choose. Yeah, feel free to choose whatever symbol you want to use. Yeah, so that's we have tried to define the symbol. Then the other thing that we can do, yeah, if we want, is to change, like I said, the icon shape. So this one is the default one, but you may also change into a circle if you want. You may change to a drop if you want. You may change it to like a ball if you want. So I like that drop. So I will use that and I can save my map. So the other thing that I want to change, I want if someone comes and points on a point to be able to see the label without first clicking. I want them to be able to see the label of the map. So to be able to do that, still I'll go to my settings here, and then I'll go to interaction options. Yeah, but I can also see here there is custom background. I think this is what would give you the, if you have like your own imagery, I think you can add it here. Yes, I've never really played around with this, but I think this is where you'd go to add your own custom imagery. Okay, so what I was trying to show us is I want to change the label, how the labels appear. So to be able to do that, I'm going to come to display label here, and then I'll say define. So right now it is on never, meaning that the label only appears after someone has clicked. But I can change this to always. So if I change it to always, it means that the labels will always appear whether someone has clicked or not, but that may not be enough. It makes the map very cluttered. So what I normally like to do is to use hover, so that if someone hovers, then yeah, if someone hovers point, then the name or is displayed. Okay, so I'll go ahead and save that. So now if I disable edit here and I point on any point, I can see that the name of the point is displayed. Yeah, so basically that's how you can kind of customize your labels. But the other thing that you may want to do, you may want to show different things. Right now, the labels only show the name of the hospital, but you may want to show maybe the website of the hospital when someone clicks on it, in addition to the name. Or you may want to display the phone number. So yeah, it's possible to more than one label. And the way you do that is still to go to interaction options, to the default interaction options, and then you can come here where there is pop-up content template. So if you click on it, you'll see that the template now has the name and the description. But if you want to add other things, there is this question mark here. If you click on it, it will show you what else you can add, and also the formatting, how you can do the formatting. So yeah, if you want, for example, a big heading, that can be a hash sign, 2 hashes for a second heading, 3 hashes for a third heading. If you want to add a link, you just add the link in square brackets. If you want to add the link with text, then you'd write it like this. If you want to add an image, it will be like that. An image with width. So there is like some guides there that will help guide you on how to add your texts. Okay. So before I add what other things I want to add here, I'm going to first check my data to see what is in my data. For those of you who are familiar with like ArcMap or QGIS, you know what we call the attribute table. So to see my attributes, I'm going to go to this icon here, which is manage layers. And if I go to manage layers, I can see my layer here. So these are things you can do with your layer. You can either delete the layer, you can edit the properties in the table, you can edit the actual layer. but also you can zoom into the layer extent, and also you can hide or unhide. So for example, if I do this, so this is useful if you have like different layers and you want to see only one. That's where you can do that from. But also you can drag and reorder the layers if you want like one to be on the top. So what I want to do now is to go to edit properties. And now you can see the attribute table that I have. So for example, I can now check what is there. So most of the columns are empty. They don't have much information. Yeah, but there is some hospitals that have, for example, the phone number, which is good. I may also be interested in showing for example, the name in, let us say, in Nepal language. So if it is available on those columns, I can also add it. But what I'm going to add now, I'm going to add the website and maybe the phone number. So what I need to do here is to take a note of the name of the column. So it is website. Okay, so I have to write it exactly as it is when I'm defining in my label text template. So the other thing I want to add is also, I also want to add the phone number. So the phone number is written as phone. So those are the two things I'm going to add: phone and then website. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. So the close button is, I think, at the start here. So I'll close this. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the map settings. I'll go to interaction options. And then I'm going to go to template here, pop-up content. So I'll just copy this and paste it twice because I need to add two things. So the first one is going to be website, and the other one is going to be on. Okay, so that means it will pick out the name. It will also pick out the website, and also it will pick out the phone. So if I go ahead and save, and I disable editing here. So now if I, let me see, most of them don't have this information, but now you can see here, for example, Aroja Asharam Hospital has the phone number. This is Batsiala has a website, and the website is being displayed. So yeah, that's how you could add more information from your data. And what I would do, for example, you may want to show images. If you have like pictures of each of these hospitals, you may also add your photos so that when someone clicks, for example, on Himalaya Healing Center, they would see a photo. Yeah, and you can do this, for example, for anything. You can also create a map of places you have visited and just add a photo. But yeah, to be able to add the photo, what you do still is to go to the map settings, you go to interaction options, and then you can add something here called photo. But to be able to show the photos, then you have to add the photos in your data. So if you check like in your data here, yeah, that means you have to add a new property because there is no column called photo here. So I would add a new property called photos, and then I'll go ahead and add the links to the photos. So these photos can be hosted, for example, on Flickr. They can be hosted on your drive, on your Google Drive. They can be hosted on Wikimedia Commons if they have a free license. And then you can just go ahead and add them to your map. So I'm not going to show how to do that, but that's where you do it from. And the code that you'd use to do that is, if you check here in the template, this is, so you just put the link to the photo in the table. And then when you come here, you just now add something like this, and then you say, where is that? Yeah. So you just say photo. If you have a column for the links with the photos, you add them here, and then the photo will appear when someone clicks on the point. Okay. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah, after creating your map and you want to share it, basically what you do would be to either copy this link here, you know, and send someone. And when they click on it, they'll be able to see your map. So if I, you know, click on that link in a new tab, I'm seeing these points. And when someone hovers on them, then they're able to see the names of the facilities. And if they click on it, they'll see the other details like the phone number and the website if it's available. Okay, so now I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to show us the last part, which is how to link UMAP and OverPass table. And what the intention of this is to show you how to create a live map so that updates every time. So we have made a query of, you know, hospitals in Nepal, but the number of hospitals can change over time. So people keep on adding information to OpenStreetMap. So if you want to create a UMAP, which is dynamically updates every time something is added to OpenStreetMap, is what I want to show us how we would do it. Okay. So again, we're going to start from OverPass, and I'm going to write my query. I'll still use the wizard, but instead of specifying the name here now, I just want to say, let me just write one for university. So amenity equals universities. I want to see all the universities in this area. So yeah, I still want to use Kathmandu. Yes, I'm going to do that. So yeah, you're just going to query whatever is in my map view here as the bounding box. So I go ahead and run my query, and we have some universities here. Yeah, I don't know which part of the world this is, but it is Kathmandu. I'd have expected to see a little bit of more universities, but maybe those are the ones. I'm not sure. But anyway, so we have, yeah, I think we are still in Kathmandu. So I think this might be the biggest, Tribhuvan University. All right, so I've done my query and I have my code here. But what I'm going to do now is to go to export. And when I go to export, I'm going to go to query, which is down here. And in query, I'm going to go to convert query to compact. Okay. So when I click on this, basically what they'll do, they're going to get to this query here and they're going to make it compacted. Okay. So it is compacted. That means it will be easier now for me to add to UMAP. So I'm going to copy this query as it is. And I'm going to paste it in my notepad. So yeah, this is my notepad. Hope you're able to see it. And I paste my query here. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's my query that I've compacted. And what I'm going to do now next is to customize it a little bit. So we're going to modify the text and generalize it so that it can work on any map area. So someone would have to just zoom in, for example, in Dodoma, and they will see the universities in Dodoma. Someone will zoom into Kampala, they will see the universities in Kampala that are live pulling from OpenStreetMap data. So to be able to do that, I'm going to do some changes to my query. So the first one is to add this line, which is in red, before the text that I had copied. So I'm going to copy this, Control C. I'll go to my query here, and I'm going to basically click at the beginning of my text here and paste. So I've just pasted here this, and I'll make it a secure link, so HTTPS. Yes, I pasted that there. And then the other thing that I'm going to do, if you look into these slides, and like I mentioned, these slides will be available for you within the Go Classroom for you to follow along. So what I would do here is to now do one more thing, okay? Where there is coordinates, I'm going to change and add there, south, west, north, east, in brackets as it is here. So that's the other kind of change I'm going to make. Let me try to put this in red so that it stands out. So, and I'll add this 3 times, where there is node, where there is where, and where there is relation. So I'll copy this. And I will take it to my notepad here. So where there is coordinates, so you can see this is, this is the node. This is the way, this is the relation. So basically, I'll remove these coordinates, which kind of determine the bounding box, and I replace it with south, west, northeast. And like I mentioned, the purpose of this is to make sure that this can work for any part of the world, and it doesn't have to be limited to only Nepal. So yeah, after doing this, so this is how your text should look like, and before you add it to the Umap. So basically, I'm going to copy this and then take it to Umap. So I'm going now to go to Umap, and then I'm going to go ahead and create a new map. And then I'm going to edit my map title, and I'm going to name it universities. Yeah, I'm just going to add on OSM just to indicate that these are pulled from OSM. And maybe I can add a description and say dynamically updating university data from OpenStreetMap. Okay, so I've added my title and description. And the next thing I'm going to do now is to import my data. So I'll first save my title so that it is done. And next, I'm going to go to to the settings here. So I'm going to go to the layers panel, which is right here. Okay. So go to layers and then edit. So this is our layer, which is layer 1. And now I'm going to go to remote data. Okay, so I repeat, go to manage layers, edit your layer, and then go to remote data. So once I go to remote data, I'm going now to pick my my code from my text editor, whatever I use, whether Notepad, and then I'm going to paste it here. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is to choose the format. So the format I'm going to choose here is going to be OSM, because this is pulling directly from OSM data. The other thing I want to change here is dynamic. So by changing it to dynamic, what it really means is that it will fetch data each time the map view changes. So if someone zooms into Portsmouth, where Ralph is based, you'll see the universities in Portsmouth. If I zoom into to Amsterdam, I'll see the universities in Amsterdam. So the other thing I'm going to do is to change the proxy. And what that means is that to use if the remote server does not allow cross-domain, which means that you don't want your thing to time out very quickly. So I'll put that at least 5 minutes. And then I'll go ahead and save my changes. So I can also rename my layer to universities. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save. And I'm going now to try and zoom into Portsmouth. I think Portsmouth should be in the south of the UK. But let me just go to Brighton here and see if it loads. So problem in response. So because it is pulling from OSM data, it's gonna take some bit of time to load. It will not load at the like if you remember when you were loading data from that we had added and uploaded, it took like less time to load, but now it will take some bit of time. So I'm going to give it some bit of time as I try to answer any questions. I think as we answer the questions, the data will eventually load, but let's give it some time. Yeah, but that basically, that's how you would load that kind of make the map to be dynamic. And I can show you some examples here that I created from previous. Let's say if you want to see maps you created previously, you can just go to my maps here. So for example, there is this one for dentists in Kampala, dynamic. So this is one I created, which is dynamic, and it basically shows dentists in Kampala. Yeah, I don't know, it's taking long to load. It's also showing me problem in response here. Yeah, but I think it might be because it's pulling from live from ISN. I'll also stop the editing here. So are there any questions as we wait for this to load? Okay, a bit to the left, we'd go to Portsmouth. Yes, Portsmouth is right here. Let's see if it will load some universities from Portsmouth. So are there any questions? We still have about 9 minutes. So if you have any questions, please do ask. Okay, looks like there is no questions. Yeah, so like I mentioned, I'll be looking forward to receiving your, seeing your maps, please. Yeah, there are 2 assignments here. The one on assignment 12 is for you to create, to create a web map, an interactive web map, yeah, for universities in your city. And then the next one is for you to create like a dynamic map showing also hospitals in your location. And yeah, when you go to this, when you do that assignment, please just add the maps there to be able to submit your work. So just share the link to the map, and I'll be able to see your work. Yeah, this is still taking long to respond. I'm not sure why. But yeah, this is an example of one that I created earlier, which is showing dentists in OSM. So it's dynamic. It is pulling data from live from OpenStreetMap, and now we're just looking at the dentists in London. And if a new dentist was added here, then that means I would be able to see that data in a few minutes. So let me just use this and just zoom in now to Dodoma, where Shaban is based. Let us see if there are any dentists in Dodoma. So if someone has like a tooth problem, where would they go in Dodoma? Yeah, it takes a bit long to load. It's showing still a problem in the response. So I'll just try to close this and maybe refresh. Maybe try to zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, so yeah, if you face the same issue when you are creating yours, don't worry. What I'll do is just to come here and check. Yeah, if I want like to check like the query that was used for this, I would go to the settings here, go to the layer, and then I'll just come where there is remote data. So what I want to see is this URL and the format that was used, and also dynamic, because that's what makes the map dynamic. So yeah, I think that's it. I think we can end it here. Yeah, I'm sure there are dentists in Dodoma. It's just that I think the query is taking long to load. These links with you. I'm going to share them in the note. If you want them out, feel free to do so. So yeah, I think we'll end it there. Thanks for attending. I don't see any questions in the chat. But yeah, if you have any questions at any later stage, feel free to reach out. I'm on Slack. The same name as I use here, Jeffrey Katerega. You can always find me there and ask any question, or you can ask within Google Classroom. You can send me a message there as well. So I'll stop here and hand over to you, back to you, Becky, to wrap up.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Geoffrey and Dina. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Jeffrey.